some mornings when you just feel great? This is one of those mornings. I don't know if it's because the weather's been warming up. It's been so nice here in Kansas City. I don't know if it's because I'm recording this right before the Super Bowl. If that's it, if it's because of my buxom lip gloss that I have on. I don't want to say that my lips are on fire. It's more like they're on ice. I was trying to think of how to describe it. You should try it. BUXOM. That's the lip gloss I use. Or what is it? Because I had a great breakfast, hard-boiled eggs sliced on top of sourdough toast with a little bit of avocado mixed in there. Oh, it was so good. Or is it because I'm drinking my LMNT mango, spicy mango? What is it called? It's just a hydrating thing, powder pack that I add to my water. Is it because of that? I don't know. But anyway, I feel really good. And today I'm going to share with you 6 habits organized coaches do daily. So as I share these, just pick one. Pick one that you want to put into place and practice for a week. Commit to doing it for a week. Okay, and also, are you aware, do you know that I have my free class coming up and you need to register for that? If you go to, actually, let me go to my business dashboard and see what the link is because I've forgotten. simplysquaredaway.com/free class. Or you can go to my website, simplysquaredaway.com, and it's at the top bar. You can register for the class. And I'm going to share 3 simple steps to an organized and profitable coaching business. When you go to the registration page, you'll see the best coaches are hiding behind cluttered files, behind a cluttered business. So is that you? Get into this class, register. It's free. It's coming up Monday, February 26th. Okay, let's get to the episode. 6 habits organized coaches do daily. Are you ready to work less, feel more organized and productive, streamline repetitive tasks, and implement systems that allow your coaching business to run smoothly even without you? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Organized Coach Podcast, your go-to source for practical tips and solutions. I'm your host, Tracy Hoth, professional organizer, certified life coach, simplifying expert, and most of all, down-to-earth fellow coach just like you. No matter if you think you're missing the organizing gene, have ADHD, or just love anything organizing, I'm here to help you become an organized coach with a business that works for you. Pull up a seat and let's get started. As I share these 6 habits, I want you to think, how do you do some of these things? You might not do them perfectly, and I don't do them perfectly, but I want you to see how you actually do, which ones you do, look for the positive, and then choose one that you want to practice. Choose one that you're going to commit to this week that you want to put into place, and then figure out, how can I make this a habit? Can I tie it to something I already do? Habits are best when you tie them to something you do. And then, do you need to put a reminder up? Do you need a sticky note where you do this habit? Do you need to set something in place? Do you need to put something on your calendar? What is it that will help you begin to do this habit? Okay, first habit. They review their goals. They review their goal every day. It could be a goal. It could be goals. And that's one thing I love about the calendar that I made, is that the goal is written at the top of every single month. There's a spot for your goal. So when you look at your calendar, you can see it every month. I also have begun in my journal, when I'm doing my quiet time, I have a piece of paper that has the question on it. What is your big goal? And then what's your 30-day goal? And so it asks me that every morning when I sit down to look at it. And then I have this calendar with the goal right there too. So I am reviewing my goal daily. Makes me think of when Tavana shared putting it in the GPS. Where are we going? We got to know where we're going, and we got to remember it. So if you're like me, oh my gosh, I can set a goal and then totally forget about the goal. Forget that I had a goal, much less remember what it is. So review your goal daily. That's number 1. Number 2 is to ask a powerful question. And this is really coming into play with me. And it's so fun. I had a discussion in a volunteer group that I lead, and we were talking about what question could each of us ask. So we kind of know what our goal is, but then what is a question we can ask ourselves every day that will make our brain look for answers to solve that, look for ways to solve it. I listened to Brooke Castillo's The Life Coach School podcast, and from that, I can ask myself, how will I provide value today? What is one way I can provide value? A couple of my clients are asking questions like that, just having a specific, powerful question. So look how easy it is. You review your goal and then you ask yourself the powerful question. The next thing is to plan a day, plan your day, block off time every morning. Now, this doesn't have to be, maybe something you were taught where it's really rigid and you have to plan a week in advance and you feel like a failure because you never can keep that plan. That's not what I mean, but plan your day. Plan the day that you're coming to your desk. Take 5 minutes and plan. And I like to choose 1, 2, or 3 at the most things that will move the needle toward a project, things that will provide income, something that you're going to do. So if you are full of client calls that day, then you would just choose one. What one thing are you going to be able to do? And put that into your calendar. So plan your day and then fill in the rest of the time with all those little things like emailing, getting back to someone, reading an article, anything like that is kind of the filler stuff. But make sure you're choosing 1, 2, or 3 things to do each day that will move the needle moving things. Okay, so review your goals, ask yourself a powerful question, and plan your day. That could take 15 minutes. Right when you walk into your office, 15 minutes. The next thing kind of happens throughout the day, and it's to finish. Organized coaches finish their current activity. And I like to think of a bank. Back when we went to banks in person and you would see the teller and they would be completing their previous transaction. They would take a moment, put the money away, put the deposit slips, put anything that they had out away before looking up and having the next person come forward, before calling you up to the window. They would complete that task. So finish the activity you're working on. And you might notice that you're not finishing because you have 50 tabs open on your computer. I fall into that a lot. I think I'm in the middle of a project and I have a call, or I'm in the middle of the project and something distracts me. So try as much as possible to finish one task, close everything, put everything away before you move on to the next task. And that's really just because it helps your brain not be cluttered, looking around your desk and having things everywhere, looking at your computer and having 14 Google Chrome windows open. So I speak from experience. It helps me when I do not have all that. Sometimes I'll have to move everything into one window and then start just closing tabs before I can move on. So getting in the habit of closing, finishing, putting things away when you are done with that activity. It's not, maybe doesn't mean that activity is complete, but it maybe means that activity is done for this portion of your day. Put those things away, finish the task before moving on. And then number 5 kind of is a mix of some of these, but it's to prioritize. I think organized coaches are able to prioritize. Now, I like to think you have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts in your head, and you use the organizing steps to sort those ideas, sort all the things that are swimming around and making you feel overwhelmed, sort them out onto paper. I like to do that, and then prioritize. It's helpful too for me to see, I have a dashboard pad. It's called dashboard pad. I'm trying to look and see who it's from. Let me see. It's from Ink and Volt, and I'm kind of liking it. But it has days across, little squares for each day of the week at the top. And so when I think of something and I have stuff written down below it, I can just put the priority up in that box. And that is similar to planning your day and choosing 1, 2, or 3 things. But it's even more than that. It's having 5 different groups you're in, and how do you prioritize what you're going to work on? So I think organized coaches practice this skill, but they have the skill of prioritizing. And then I guess it would include focusing on that priority and staying focused versus jumping all over the place. I just shared this with a client, and I think I learned this maybe from Tyson Bradley. I can't remember the first place I learned it, but thinking of it like taking a test where you go in and the professor doesn't say, oh, take as long as you want. The professor says, you have 60 minutes to complete this test. And that helps you stay focused because you know you have 60 minutes to complete the task. You might read through each of the questions quickly, answer what you can, and come back so that you complete it within 60 minutes. Or you might read through each of them faster, but you're very, very focused on that. So when you prioritize, you're very, very focused on the priority. And by doing that, I think you get better results. So a quick review, we review our goals, we ask a powerful question, we plan our day, we finish the current task, we prioritize, and then the number 6, we clear our desk or our desktop. Now, you might think, oh, other people are super clean, like they don't take little notes. I am staring at a little pile of orange and yellow Post-it notes. So when I'm on a call and I want to jot something down, I might put it on a Post-it note. Or when I think of something, I have this habit this week or the last couple weeks of writing on these Post-it notes. But every day I grab all the Post-it notes, I put them onto this dashboard that I mentioned, and then I work through them. I get them all cleaned out and I throw them away. So I usually have a clipboard, but I've kind of switched to this dashboard for the last couple months. But I have a clipboard that has a notepad on it, and I usually only write on the notepad. But I jot notes down and take notes, do different things on there, write notes from a phone call I'm on or whatever. And then I'll go back and I'll clean that up. So I am in a good habit of keeping all of it cleaned up. And it might be a few days goes by before I do that, but it makes me happy to do that. I clean all that up. I think my kids know if I'm in the living room and I'm sitting there cleaning up my notes that I have crumpled up pieces of paper next to me or crumpled up Post-it notes next to me. And then I put those in the trash. But it's kind of this little habit I have. Now, maybe you are even better than that. Maybe you put everything into a place where it goes, like the idea tracker, or like if I think of a podcast idea, I might jot it down just because I only have a second. I might jot it down on my clipboard or on a Post-it note while I'm working on my desk. But eventually I want to put that into digitally. I keep it in a folder of podcast ideas, or if I know I'm going to use it, I'll open a folder in my podcast folder on my Google Drive, and I'll open a folder for that podcast episode. Within that folder, I'll open a Google Doc and I'll put the notes in there. So that's what I did for this one. I thought of this idea. I was thinking about what an organized coach does. And I wrote these down in a Google Doc in a folder. So when I'm ready to record, I just go to that folder. My Google Doc's already ready. It has notes already in it. I can add to those notes and get recorded. But it probably started when I wrote it on this dashboard or on my clipboard, when I wrote it on a piece of paper because I had the idea in the middle of doing something else. So it's processing through, it's clearing your desktop or your desk, clearing it up. And you doing that daily, obviously, is probably best. But in real life, I don't know that I can always do it or that I always do it daily. But it's having that habit of clearing it off. Okay, which of these do you already do? Do you review your goals every day? Do you have a powerful question that you ask yourself? Do you plan every day? Choosing a needle moving activity and then filling in the rest of the time? Do you finish your tasks as you complete them, put things away? Do you prioritize well? What's your priority right now? And do you clear your desk or your desktop? So of those, what do you do well? And then what one of those do you want to work on? If you have other habits that organized coaches do that you think would fit into this category, oh, please DM me. I want to know what they are. I'm on Instagram at Tracy Hoth. And again, register for the 3 simple steps to an organized and profitable coaching business at simplysquaredaway.com/free class. I so appreciate you. I really, really do appreciate you listening and sharing the podcast and sharing when an episode was really helpful for you. So if you have something you want me to talk about, or you have someone you know would love this episode, please share it and have a great day. We'll see you next week. Wait, if you're finding this podcast useful, you must check out the Organized Coach Academy. It's my course where I walk you through every step to get your business organized, to get yourself organized, to save money and time, to prepare to hire someone, to do all the things that you want to do in your business with ease. Check that out at simplysquaredaway.com/OCA. Also, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I would love it. It's my way of knowing that you're enjoying the podcast if you leave a written review. I have lots of freebies for you. They're linked in the show notes. You can find them in my bio on Instagram at Tracy Hoth. And until next week, have a beautiful day.